Here is your Radio Theater Channel weekly podcast for download. The RTC still has the very best old-time radio on the live streaming. And if it's music you love, tune in to the RTC Music Channel, where this link and many others are on our website at oldtimeradiolisten.com. Now, here's Jim.
Hello, everyone. Glad to have you. This is the RTC Weekly Download. I'm your host, Jim Dolan, and today we're going to talk about fear. Yes, fear. On today's show, we have an episode of Lights Out, some Bob and Ray, and the Hall of Fantasy, so it should be interesting. Let's get going with The Sea from 1943.
Ironized Yeast presents Lights Out. Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now.
This is Arch Oboler. One of the bleakest places outside of Hitler's heart, they say, is the island of Arran just off the coast of Ireland. The wind wails and the waves fight the bleak cliffs, and death is as close as the sea. But before the story begins, Frank Martin.
They tell us life is what you make it, but it's pretty hard to make it happy and successful when you're thin and run down, nervous, and always tired. You say that's how it is with you? Then listen. Quite possibly you simply aren't getting enough vitamin B and iron from the food you eat. If that's your trouble, try ironized yeast tablets. They give you both vital substances. Thousands who needed them today thank ironized yeast tablets for glorious new pet of life. Remember the name, ironized yeast tablets. And now, Lights Out. Everybody.
I know. It's dying I am, Father Donahue. And old as I am, I'm not ready to die until... come closer, Father, and hear my miserable confession. You know me as a good woman of the village. Yet I've heard what you say. There's no finer old woman in all the islands than the widow Donnell. But that's not so, Father Donahue. And if I'm to meet all my old friends in the island of paradise, then hear me out and pray for me. You know my sons, Thomas and Paddy, born on the same cold winter's night they were. And the firstborn, Thomas, was as good as an angel in paradise. But the second, the one I named Paddy, was evil from the moment he took his first breath of God's good air. It was Thomas that carried the load of the family on his back, fishing from early to late. But Paddy, that rake, drinking and brawling and running from work as if the devil himself was pulling him away. I pray to the good God every night that some goodness come into the man's heart. But with every year he grew worse, stealing what his crooked tongue couldn't talk away from honest men. But his brother Thomas, he repaid me for all the trouble. A good boy. And when he came to me with the word that he was to marry Eileen, the heart in me sang for the good God always meant for the two of them to be together. How I remember the day of the wedding. The sun shining, and the sky and the sea smooth as a baby's cheek. I was so happy, little knowing of the horror of what was to come. It was a happy morning. So happy.
Now the he's going to marry a nice
listen to the mother. Did you ever hear a happier sound in all creation?
Why shouldn't they be happy, Thomas? It's not every day that such a blessed marriage comes in the islands. Ah, the prettiest girl in all the Blaskets waiting to be your bride as soon as the sun starts setting.
My bride. Mother, that's a grand word.
I'm happy for you, my son.
I wonder where Paddy can be.
Paddy.
Yes, he isn't around. You know where he is.
Oh, that rake. It'll be a better wedding without him.
Oh, now, Mother, don't say things like that. After all, he's your son and my brother.
Oh, you're a sorrow in my heart as he's drinking and brawling.
Paddy, you did come.
Speak of the devil.
And why shouldn't I be here? Is it honest strangers that are welcome at your wedding?
Oh, no, Paddy, that's not the way to talk. There's food and drink and...
No, wait a minute. I've got more important things to do than to be filling me belly. Listen to me, Brother Thomas. Is your head that full of weddings that it can't hear the chance of making us all richer than a Yankee?
What do you mean?
Yes, speak up, Paddy. What devilment are you up to now?
Devilment nothing. It's honest money I'm talking about. And may the next pipes and tobacco be at me on wake if I'm not telling you the truth.
I'm listening, Paddy. Let's hear what you have to say.
Do you remember the hulk of a ship that was wrecked off Inishnabraw a bit ago?
Well?
Well, I went there yesterday to see if there was anything worth having. Oh, listen to me, brother. In the bottom of a pool no deeper than this room is lying enough bolts of copper and brass to make you and me the richest men on the island.
What?
You can believe your ears. Wouldn't you rather bring the bride a pocketbook filled with gold sovereigns than the empty leather you've got now?
But, Paddy,
Wish you, Mother. You talk to the men.
But if it's in the sea, it'll wait until after the wedding.
Oh, wait, will it? And with those Inish boats sailing all around the place, I tell you it's now or never. And may my soul to the devil if I'm not saying true words.
Thomas, it would be nice to have a bit of money in the house.
Yes?
Well, then what are you waiting for? You've got a boat big enough to handle the stuff, and I'll be there to help you. And in 3 hours you can be back here dancing.
Oh, it's Eileen. Let her have the word whether you stay or go.
Stay or go where, Mother Donnell? What's going on, Thomas?
Well, you see, Eileen...
You're the day short. Let me say it. Eileen, there's a fortune in brass and copper bolts waiting for us in water no deeper than a man's neck, over off Inishnabraw. And Tommy here thinks you'd be fool enough to say no to his going.
But must he go now?
The sea doesn't wait.
We'd be back in 3 hours, Eileen.
I just think, Eileen, you'd have a dress for every day of the week.
Thomas, do you want to go?
We could build a new house with the money.
Mother Donnell, do you think Thomas should go now? I mean, with all them out there?
Well, we're so poor, and Thomas, young as he is, so worn and weary from work. Maybe this is God's blessing, a gift from heaven for putting our faith in him who watches over all of us.
God's blessing is right. £100. And we'll be the kings of the island. Come on now. We can take the side path down the cliff.
Wait, brother. Eileen, is it your wish?
I'd be a poor wife to you, Thomas, if I stood in your way of making a living before our marriage.
My darling.
There'll be time enough for that now when we get back. Come on, Thomas. Let's get out of here.
Hurry back to me, my dearest.
The sea will take me to our good fortune, and the sea will bring me back.
Out this way, Thomas. Come on, hurry up.
Yeah, I'm coming. Until the wedding, darling.
God go with you.
Thomas!
Yes. I'll be back in 3 hours, Mother. As rich as a Yankee. Bye.
Oh, Eileen. Oh, little baby, why should you cry? Thomas has plowed the sea so many times. Why should you cry this time?
Oh, Mother Donnell, I'm frightened.
Frightened? And tell me, why should you be frightened?
I don't know, but when that door closed behind him, it seemed as if the waters of the sea were closing over me. Oh, Mother Donnell, hold me close. I'm so afraid.
And soon, Father Donahue, Eileen and I left the dancing and the fiddling behind and climbed the long path up to the top of the cliff so our eyes could see far out over the water. And all the time, Eileen kept crying that she'd never see Thomas again. That she'd never see Thomas again. Oh,
Thomas.
Oh, stop crying and
never
saying
see him
those things you're saying, girl. It's tempting the devil to do his evil work. Oh, I haven't climbed up this path for many a day. It's a little too steep for me old bones.
Thomas, where are you?
Oh, now stop that, girl. Our Thomas has found so much copper and brass, it's taken him longer than he thought.
Oh, Thomas wouldn't come back, He wouldn't.
Oh, well, Paddy would if there was a shilling extra to be made, and he's talked Thomas into it with that sharp tongue of his. The last step. I know we'll see them. They're both weighed down with good fortune. Eileen, stay away from the edge. You'll go over the cliff.
Oh, Mother Donnell, to the west.
What?
To the west where they went. The water.
Holy Mother, that wind. Where did it come from?
Out of the west where he was.
But in all my years, such a wind has never been before.
The water. Look at it swirling and tossing before the wind. It's dead!
No.
My Thomas dead!
No.
Dead.
Stop saying that. He's not dead, my Thomas. Eileen, come back here. Come back to me. Oh, that was a time, Father Donahue. The wind grew wilder and wilder. In a minute, the sea was pounding at the base of the cliff. And the girl shrieking she wanted to die with Thomas. And me fighting her back from the edge and praying to the good God to give me old arms the strength to hold her back until she came to her senses. None of us got a wink of sleep till the light of morning. Oh, that wind. I can hear it now. Snarling and talking.
Widow Donnell!
Where?
A boat. Your son's to the west.
Why, my son?
Aye, come on.
Dead!
No, the boat's coming and there's living hands on the oars. Come
Oh,
on.
dear God, on my knees, I thank thee for thy mercy.
Mother Donnell, I heard someone say...
Oh,
Mother Donnell.
Eileen.
On your knees.
Eileen, the merciful God has brought them back.
Come
Oh!
on, quick. They're trying to get into land. Hurry now.
Oh, Mother Donnell, quickly.
No.
Darling.
No, wait, child, your shawl. Your shawl there. Now give me your arm. Oh, my old
Hurry,
legs tremble so I
hurry.
can hardly walk.
Yes, lean on me.
Oh,
Hurry, Mother
yes.
Donnell.
Yes, I'm moving fast as I can. It's hard. It's hard to get against this wind.
It win. Let him live.
You bless it for the life of one, and I bless it for the lives of two. Good neighbors, let us through. My son.
That's the Widow Donnell now.
Let us through.
Get aside for the Widow Donnell now. Come on.
Oh, I can see nothing. The waves in the dark. I need the you see.
Oh, yes, Mother Donnell. I see them. I see.
Where? Point it out to me, girl. Where?
Oh, over there. Follow my finger.
Oh,
Mary, they're
yes.
coming back.
Yes, I see the boat. Oh, blessed boat. I see it. Praise God, I see it.
One. There's only one in the boat.
No, what are you saying? Thomas!
Teddy. Mother Kate, come back. The waves.
The girl's right. There's only one in the boat.
Wave! That boat in!
Thomas.
Oh, no. No, Eileen, wait for me. My son, take me to him.
Oh, yes, forgive me. Come, I'll help you.
Ah, good girl, Eileen, good girl. Oh, which one? Which one?
Thomas, I know it. Thomas,
yes.
I know it.
Yes, Thomas, the good Thomas, he'll live.
Stand aside, everybody. Let the Widow Donnell and the girl through now.
Yes.
Let them through.
Let
Some
me
other
through.
No one.
My son, which one?
Well, I'm back, Mother. Are you pleased to see me?
Paddy.
Oh! Stand back now.
You, Paddy.
Yes, me. Ain't I got a right to live?
Tell me quick, where is my son? Where's Thomas? Tell me, Paddy, where is my Thomas?
Where do you think he is, old woman? Dead at the bottom of the sea.
Ladies and gentlemen, a deep breath would certainly be welcome to me and to you at this moment in our story of the sea. And in this intermission, before we go back to further developments in tonight's exciting Lights Out story, we have a young man here who seems to have a problem.
I'll say I've got a problem. I can't get started anyplace. The Army tells me to come back when I built myself up. War plans tell me to come back when I put on some weight. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I'm jittery and tired out all the time. It's got me licked.
Come now, my friend. Don't give up so easily. Maybe all you need is more vitamin B and iron. You see, when you don't get enough vitamin B out of your food, you may lose your appetite, not eat all you need, or you may not get all the good out of what you do eat. Then, naturally, you lose weight, lose your pep and energy. And when you don't get enough iron from your food, you may be weak and pale, feel only half alive.
Oh, but if I need more vitamin B and iron, well, how can I get them?
Try ironized yeast tablets. They're the famous two-way tonic that gives you both vitamin B and iron. Start taking pleasant little ironized yeast tablets tonight if more vitamin B and iron is what you need. Then see if pretty quick you aren't saying...
Boy, oh boy, do I look husky with the swell pounds I've put on. And I feel swell, too. War job, here I come. And I'm sure glad I tried those ironized yeast tablets.
And now back to Lights Out and the old woman's confession to the priest.
Aye, Father Donahue. That was what he told me. My good Thomas was dead at the bottom of the sea. Dead. The good Thomas dead, and Paddy the evil one alive. Oh, it wasn't right, Father. And in the days and nights that followed, I cried to God, why did you do it? Why? Why did the sea take my dear Thomas from the boat and leave Paddy? Was there no reward on earth for goodness and sweetness of soul? And in the seventh night of my sorrow, there came an answer. I was lying on my bed. Outside, the sea was singing and whispering. My window was open, and I could hear the sea talking as I lay there crying. Crying from a lost son.
Do not cry, Mother.
What?
Mother.
I heard a voice.
You heard me, Mother.
Thomas's voice. Oh, no. No, it's some wildness in my weary head.
Mother, I am so weary. You must listen.
Oh, dearest God, why do you do this to me? My son is dead. Dead in the sea. Why do you bring me the memory of his voice?
Mother, believe me.
If I could only see you, I would believe.
Oh, no. The horror the sea made of me. Wind and wave and grinding rock against my flesh.
Oh, I wouldn't care, my son. Just let me see that it is you, and not my own voice speaking in my head.
Oh, Mother, you don't know what you ask. But if there is no other way, close your eyes until I give you word to open them.
I've closed them.
Now open, Mother, and have no fear. I beg you.
Oh.
This was Thomas.
Oh, no.
Mother, why did he murder me?
Murder?
The sea was calm. We reached the pool where he said the copper and the brass lay. I stripped off my clothes and dove under.
Oh.
And when I tried to come up for another breath of air, oh, Mother, he wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, no.
With his hand, he held me under. My hands, they tore at his arm. But he held me down until at last I screamed for mercy, and the water filled my mouth, my lungs, and killed me. My own brother killed me, and that is why I tore myself out of the sea. I want to know why he did it, Mother. Why? I cannot rest in peace until I know and understand. You tell me, Mother. Oh, speak, Mother. What gain could come to him for such a horror?
I do not know. Oh, believe me, my son. I do not know.
Then I must go back. I cannot stand this pain.
Oh, my good Thomas.
Look at this, what was Thomas Denare's face, Mother. Look at it and give me your oath you will not tell my Eileen or my brother of this night.
Oh, but
Your oath, Mother. They must not know. You hear me? They must not know.
I swear, Thomas.
Oh, merciful one, this pain. I go, Mother.
Where?
Back to the sea.
Oh, and will we ever meet again, my son?
Yes. The day I find out why he made me drown, I will return, Mother. I will return.
Thomas, my son, come back. Oh, my son. My son. But he was gone, Father Donahue. Gone back to his nameless grave in the sea. Then it happened. Paddy talked his way into the good graces of the girl. Simple little Eileen. What did she know of the evil of men? That devil Paddy and my good Thomas's Eileen. Took the life out of me and made me long for the quiet of my grave. And then came the day of the wedding. Again the fiddler was playing. Again the good people of the islands were happy. I alone was sad, weeping at what I knew.
Oh, Mother Danelle, why do you sit here apart from all the rest and weep?
I'm not weeping, girl.
For weeks you've been so sad. Can't you find a little joy in your heart for this day of my marriage to your own son?
My son.
Well, I do not love him as I did dear Thomas. May he rest in peace. But Thomas himself told Patty that if he died, he wished that Patty'd care for me. And... Mother Danelle, what is it? Your face so strange.
Now he knows. I just remembered. Now he knows.
Who knows? What are you saying?
There you are, my little bride to be. Why waste your wedding day with this old woman? Mother of mine though she be, her face is sour enough to curdle milk. Come on away now.
No, wait, Patty. Mother Danelle, you must tell me. What is it that makes you stare at Patty with such an awful look?
That's the look she's always had. Look how the sun glints on the sea. It's a day for a king. And I'm a king marrying the girl I've always wanted. Come, kiss me, Eileen. Kiss me so that all shall see me kissing the prettiest bride in all Ireland.
No, please.
Kiss me. Let the sky and the sea...
Mother Danelle!
What did you make that sound for, old woman?
What's going on around here? No, why
Now then, speak up, Mother. Why did you shriek like that?
The sea.
What of the sea? What are you pointing your bony finger at out there? What are you...
Look! At the water's edge!
Say, what is...
Something's coming out of the sea. Look.
Yes,
Something's coming out of the sea.
Yes, that's right. I see it now. It's a seal, that's what it is, a seal. Where's the club?
It's not a seal!
Huh?
It's a man!
Look, man!
Bones. Just bones. Let's get out of here.
Eileen, do not look. Do not look. Ah, Blessed Mary, she's fainted. She will not see.
What is it? I can't move. I cannot move.
No, you cannot move, my brother. You cannot move.
That voice.
Bones and little flesh, and yet you know the voice.
Thomas.
Thomas, your brother Thomas, come back again.
No.
Because now he knows.
No.
Now he knows.
No. Knows what?
Why you murdered me. Your flesh and blood. I heard it from your own lips. You wanted my Eileen always. That's why you did it. Your clever tongue can no longer save you, brother of mine. I have come a painful way to get you.
No, you won't get me, dead thing. No, I'll get away. I'll run.
And so he ran, Father Donahue. He turned and ran up the path that led to the top of the cliff. And behind him, slowly sobbing with the pain that tore at his dead bones, climbed my dead Thomas after him. And after Thomas, dragging my old bones, I went. For they were my sons, and I had to see that right was done. Up until at last Patty stood on the very edge, the sea 500 feet below, shrieking, yelling, and wailing. He stood there shrieking at that horrible thing that once was his brother.
No, thing, stay back. You bones and filth, stay back.
I come for you, my brother.
No.
I come for you.
No. He fell. Mother, see, he didn't get me. Those rotten bones gave way beneath him. He didn't get me, Mother. Mother, what are you going to do? Mother!
Over the cliff Patty went, turning and twisting, and into the sea where the water covered him over. When the others of the village came up there at last, I told them that the old bones of Thomas had done it. Had clutched Patty close to and thrust him over. Father Donahue, listen. It was I that gave that final push that sent the evil son of mine to his death. Thomas tried and failed before he had his last measure of revenge. So I did it, Father. I gave Paddy Donnell life, and I gave him death. Is there any forgiveness in heaven for what I did?
Well, Mr. Obler, again the dead return?
Well, again I say I don't know. I'll tell you an amazing story, though, that I know is true. Have you ever heard of Marjorie?
Oh, sure. Butter substitute.
No. Marjorie's not any ration book. She's one of the most famous spiritualistic mediums at the end of the 19th century. I'll tell you more of her amazing story in a moment.
Friends, if vitamin B and iron shortage is what's keeping you thin and jittery and tired out, here's something you should know about. Ironized yeast tablets. They give you both vitamin B and iron. The cost is but a few pennies a day, and you don't risk even those few pennies. For ironized yeast is sold on this money-back basis. If you don't quickly begin to eat and sleep better, to look and feel much stronger, peppier, and more alive, in short, if you're not 100% satisfied with the results, the cost of the first bottle will be refunded to you in full by Ironized Yeast, Box IY, Rahway, New Jersey. So, if you need more vitamin B and iron, get Ironized Yeast right away. You've nothing to lose. Just be sure you get the genuine. Look for the big letters IY on the package and on each tablet. And now, what about Marjorie?
Well, during the last 75 years, there have been two psychic mediums who have shared the honor of puzzling psychical researchers. D.D. Home was one, and a lady by the name of Marjorie was the other. Now, Marjorie was the wife of a distinguished surgeon who claimed that she could conjure up the spirit of a dead brother. This brother could ask questions by means of raps, ringing bells, chimes, bugles, write in 9 languages, although Marjorie knew only one, move furniture around the room, and conjure up roses and live birds, and speak in his own voice through Marjorie's vocal cords. Now, in 1924, the magazine, Scientific American, offered a prize of $2,500 to the first person who could conjure up ghostly effects. Marjorie entered the contest. The committee that investigated her disagreed completely. 3 of the gentlemen said yes, and 3 other gentlemen said no. The London Society for Scientific Research heard about it and entered the picture and investigated Marjorie, and again, all sorts of dissension. Now, in spite of many further scientific investigations and work of many individual researchmen, no one seems to know whether or not Marjorie actually was psychic. But there's no question that the facts show that the lady certainly proved some amazing demonstrations of what were apparently voices and figures and fingerprints and other manifestations of the dead.
Well, are we to have some more ghosts next week, Mr. Obler?
No, not ghosts. It's a play about Paris before the New Disorder. It's a story about 2 college men on the loose in Paris. But, as usual, that's next week.
Yes, Lights Out will come to you again next Tuesday at this same time. Be sure to listen to Arch Obler's amazing story, The Ball. And if you need more vitamin B and iron, be sure to try Ironized Yeast, the one and only Ironized Yeast, with the big letters IY on the package and on each tablet. It is later than you think.
Shoe rationing makes proper care of footwear extremely important. That's especially true of white shoes. So when white shoe time comes, give your white shoes the best of care with Energine Shoe White. Energine Shoe White is made with the whitest pigment obtainable, only the very whitest. That means it keeps your shoes as white as they can possibly be. Energine Shoe White is creamy textured, too, spreads easily, evenly over your shoes, dries uniformly. Result, perfectly cleaned white shoes that give more satisfactory wear. Take proper care of the white shoes you wear. Get Energine Shoe White. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
It's time to spend a few minutes with Bob and Ray.
This is Bruce Cowan for Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding, who take pleasure in presenting.
Just a second. This is Bruce Cowan.
Hi,
Bob's stand-in. Bob's a little under the weather today. Or I guess maybe hung over. Is that what you'd say?
Well, I don't think that's a very nice thing to say about Bob, but I wouldn't refute it.
Well, anyway, Bruce, we don't start the show off that way. I usually
What do you mean?
sign it on
Oh,
myself. It's a little thing. It's part of the show now. You know?
Okay, Ray.
And now, Bob Elliott and Ray Goulding present the CBS Radio Network.
Working with you, and I certainly hope that we'll work out and that he's not sick for too long.
I hope not. I was only kidding about that hangover and all. I know Bob is truly not feeling well. I think the first 3 races today, he didn't go to the cashier's window once.
Is that so? That's too bad.
He has a good reason not to be here. Well, anyway, friends, as we promised you today, it's going to be a little difficult for me working with this strange person. So I hope you'll
Well, don't think it won't be
understand.
difficult for me either, folks, because this is only the second time I've...
You're not... It's another thing, Bruce. You're not to feel as free to speak up as Bob would.
Well, he told me to say whatever
You're
came-
not Bob.
I know that.
You look like him, and you sound a lot like him. But you're not to feel as free. You're not to feel that this is half your show.
All right, Raya.
Okay?
Sure.
Right then, when you said that, you sounded like Kent Lyle Birdley, too. Anyway, we have 4 days left in Write a Nice Letter to Gig Young in the Gig Young Week. And the mail, I understand, has been very good. And now, would you introduce...
Did you actually talk to Gig, Ray, or are you just assuming that the mail has been good?
I'm assuming it's
I mean,
been
do you have
good.
any proof that he's even received one?
No, but I assume, because you figure that we reach untold tens of people here every evening, that one of them is bound to write. You
Sure.
know? Okay?
But now I'm getting a speed-up signal, which says that we should get to our first interview, and I believe it's this gentleman right over here who stands a good, I'd say 8 feet 7 inches, don't you, sir?
No, I'm taller than that.
Taller,
Bruce. Actually...
You can call me Bob because it'll maybe be more natural
No,
to you.
I don't think it should be that way. Let him call you Bruce so people won't be confused. I think you're going to do a very bad interview, Bruce, and I wouldn't want Bob's friends to think it was he who was gumming it up.
So if you'd like to call me Mr. Cowan, that should be good.
Makes very little difference.
You know, the thought occurs to me that you're not going to make a very good interview. But, I mean, that's only my opinion.
Well, of course, that remains to be seen.
We'll be able to tell better after we've had the interview.
What I do is I answer a few questions about my work, and then I go ahead and do it right here on the air. I think it'll make for a very interesting interview.
How much do you weigh, sir?
I weigh 623 pounds, but as I say, I'm 9 feet 1 inch.
Certainly a huge man, and I would imagine you're engaged in some kind of physical activity. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. I'm a freelance diamond cutter, and that's what I'd like to talk about now.
Well, that must have been why our scouts had you come over today.
That's right, Mr. Cowan.
Now, are you going to actually demonstrate the art of diamond cutting here in our studio?
Yes, what I'm going to do...
Is that what he's going to do, Ray?
What?
Is he going to demonstrate diamond cutting in our studio?
I think so, yeah. I think that's what he's going to do.
Is that what you're going to do, sir?
Yes, I'm going to do it right now. This is a 1/2 carat diamond, and I'm going to add some more facets to make it gleam more.
Why? Oh, you just told me. All right. Well, now, what kind of tools do you need to perform this?
Well, I have a file, of course, and a nice...
Isn't it very difficult with those big hands of yours
Yes,
to
it is.
work on such a small thing as a 1/2 carat
Now,
diamond?
right here is where I'm going to add this facet. Now, if everything goes all right...
Is there any reason why you're wearing a hat while you're doing this?
No, I dropped it.
You dropped it?
No.
Well, there it is. It's right over there, I think.
No, that's not it.
Now, while they're looking for this, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just say that
That, no,
we're
it's
going
a
to have
piece
an
of
actual
popcorn. I
demonstration.
thought that was the diamond.
Oh, it's not anywhere near that big. No.
Where is it? Somebody has it now.
There it is, right under your chair there. See?
No, piece of cellophane.
Well, how are you going to do this if it's been lost? By that I mean the whole purpose of the interview was...
Well, I don't know. Somebody has a 1/2 carat diamond, and it belongs to me.
Well, as
I'm
I
not gonna
said
leave
at the
studio.
beginning, you're a pretty difficult interview. And
I'll sit right here until I have it. Carry on with your show.
All right. Now, have you got it?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, now he has placed this half-carat diamond on his cutting table. And how many facets you going to add to it?
Some.
Well, how many? I mean, do you know how many?
I don't know. It depends when I get going. Could be 3, 4. That's why I didn't want to say definitely.
Okay.
You'll be disappointed if I only do 3.
Well, I see I'm getting a speed-up signal, so could we get right to it and,
It's not a speed up. That signal means take him off the air. He's a colossal bull.
Well, we haven't got to
It's not speed up. It means cut.
Haven't got to the point of what he's going to do. Can you do it real quickly and let's get it over with?
All right.
I knew this was going to be bad. What happened?
Smashed the whole thing. It's just dust.
There's no longer any value to it?
No, not a bit.
How much did you just smash there?
Half a carat.
I mean, how much money worth?
I only figure a carat, about $500 or $600, but guess it was worth it to come here and make a fool of myself.
Well, it was a good demonstration anyway, and now I'm going to turn things back to Ray
Golding.
Ray Golding.
Thank you. We have Dean Archer Armstead coming by. Have you ever met him, Mr.?
No, I don't believe I have, but I know the routine.
Would you play his theme, please?
Here now, from the Lackawanna, New York field station, are Bob and Ray Agriculture Director Dean Archer Armstead with his friend Robin I. Pickett.
Thank you very much, and Bob, I hope you're not too surprised at my special extra gift that I brought along today.
I see you have brought a sheep into the studio, you and Robin, and there must be some reason for that, is there?
That's right. What we're going to do, Bob, we're going to shear...
Get away.
We're going to shear... He's all right.
I know, but I've got a new suit on.
We're going to shear the sheep right in the studio. I'm going to show you the proper way to shear a sheep.
Shall I get him now?
All right, Robin. Robin, would you have him walk through the dip, please, so that we'll have him clean as a whistle? And then we'll take all the wool off the sheep.
Come over here, sheep. Right through here.
Careful now, Robin.
All right, he's all right.
This is terrible in here.
Now, what are you going to shear the sheep with?
Well, we have our electric... Where's the shearer, Robin?
Didn't you bring him, Dean?
I wouldn't have them.
You mean you're here without the equipment that you need?
Well, we don't have the electric shearer. I don't know how else we could do it.
You can use my thinking shears.
That would work, I think, if you'll stand still long enough.
Well, I'll try it. I hate to come all the way down here.
Stand back, Webb, will you? Give him some room to do this with.
Sure, you know it. My pleasure.
All right, Robin, you go right ahead and I'll hold him.
Now, the first thing to do, of course, is to put the sheep at ease.
How do you do that?
Let them know that you're a friend and that what you're doing it has to be done, and that and do it gently. Because if you fight the sheep, then there's a possibility that we may pick them in the teeth.
If you frighten the sheep, he may kick you in the teeth.
That's right. And look, they don't have to translate for me, Bob.
Well, I've got a little thick there.
I get a little excited about that.
All right.
You're Mr. Cowan, aren't you?
Yes.
I
look like Bob. And
not too much.
Sound like him.
Not too much.
I have more hair, I'll say that.
Well, now, let's see. All right, now, what I do is I comfort the sheep. Now, I'll take the shears and start.
Hurry up, Dean. He's getting kind of upset.
Do you mind if I run the vacuum on here? Because it's pretty fuzzy, you know.
Yeah, it is.
All it is
up there.
Plus some fur in here.
Oh, hey, wait. That's the fan. Turn it off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, Dean, that's scaring the sheep.
I'm very sorry about that. Terribly sorry.
Oh, boy, look, it looks like snow in here.
Come on, Robin.
Get it out of here. Play his theme.
All
right, come on, Robin. You've heard from Dean Archer Armstead, Bob and Ray Agriculture Director from the Lackawanna Field Station in New York. Join us again next week when the Dean returns. Now, we have a group here visiting with us today. Do we have time to talk to them?
Yes, we do.
It's rather an unusual club, as I understand it, of people who look like Walter Cronkite. Is there a spokesman for your group?
Yes, I'm the chairman of the group.
You are all the Walter Cronkite lookalikes, is that right?
Well, no. We think there are some that haven't heard of our organization, and that's why we've come here to publicize it.
Get more
Mr.
members.
Goulding. You see...
I'm Mr. Cowan.
Yes. Well, you see, there is a certain amount of fun looking like Walter Cronkite, and
I must say there's quite a lot of fun in sitting here on the stage and looking at an audience full of Walter Cronkite.
Yes, it's a spooky feeling, isn't it?
Kind of spooky, yeah.
As I sit up here looking out there, it's spooky.
Kind of like looking at a
It certainly is. But that's why, Bob, or Mr. Cowan, I'd like to ask everybody who looks like Walter Cronkite to get a hold of me at Cronkite Lookalike Headquarters and send us a picture, a recent picture.
Can that be returned?
Yes, we'll return it, of course. We just want to be sure that you really look like
well,
Mr.
what are
Cronkite.
some of the attractions of joining a club like this? Benefits gained and that kind of thing?
Well, we haven't organized to amass gains or anything.
No, but I mean, what do they get any...
Well, we all got into the Olympics free.
Yeah.
That was something we did, but I don't know what else we can do now free. But when Mr. Cronkite goes on some big broadcast, we go down and get in free and mill around and confuse a lot of people.
You find that people stop you on the street and ask you for autographs?
Yes. But,
what is your name, sir?
John Cameron Swayze.
Uh-huh. And are they kind of surprised when you sign that name?
Yes, they're dumbfounded. They say, oh, that's right. I know I've seen you somewhere.
I think they mistaken.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have a lot of fun here in convention and that by being on our show you will have gained many...
Is the show all over now? Would you like to join us, Cronkite Lookalikes, in a blast?
Well, we might if we have time.
Fine.
We've had a lot of fun talking with you. You've been a grand
Scott.
guest.
Good.
And I know Bob would say the same thing were he here. We'll be back with our parting words in just 10 seconds. Ray, I suppose you want to thank me for being
Boy,
here.
all fuss and fur from that Dean Archer Armstead episode. That's terrible. I want to say it's been nice working with you, Mr. Cowan.
real pleasure
I certainly
being
hope
here.
Bob will be back tomorrow. Until then, this is Ray Goulding reminding you to write if you get work.
Bob Elliott reminding you to hang by your thumbs.
Now we go back to May 18th, 1953 for an episode of the Hall of Fantasy. This is called The Crawling Thing.
And now, the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the series of radio dramas dedicated to the supernatural, the unusual, and the unknown. Come with me, my friends. We shall descend to the world of the unknown and forbidden, down to the depths where the veil of time is lifted, and the supernatural reigns as king. Come with me and listen to the tale of The Crawling Thing.
Be quiet. I don't want to wake the others. Look at the cage.
What do you mean? The mouse. What happened to the mouse?
Let's go over to the cage.
The spider, it's doubled in size again.
I know. The mouse is gone. Now, look at the partition between the two pens.
But there isn't any partition.
That's right. And I don't think the partition slipped down between the two cages. I think that the two holders for it were opened and then the partition slipped down.
Does that mean you're endowing the spider with
intelligence? Yes, that's right. Remember what I said earlier? What would happen if the yes quantity also enlarged the ability of the brain to think? Well, it's happened. That spider will kill. It can think. That hairy, crawling thing can think. Quite by chance, I've come upon this little diary of Emery's. The mirror of a man's mind. I shall read you only those parts which concern the experiment. The months which brought him into contact with his ultimate death. Oh, yes. It begins on this page. July 7th. Today I met Dr. Henry Sindler. I've always recognized him to be one of the greatest research men in this field. I applied for the position of his assistant.
I only hope that he accepted me. It will be a great opportunity for me if I manage to get the position. I remember when he walked out to meet me.
I take it that you are Mr. Bolton?
Yes.
Sindler, Dr. Henry Sindler.
Yes, I know.
Please sit down, Mr. Bolton. It distresses me to see a man like you nervous and shaky. I'm not going to hurt you.
Well, I'm sorry, sir.
Now, you no doubt are aware that I drive my assistants to a state of utter exhaustion, that I expect quite a good deal from them.
Yes, I'm aware of that, Dr. Sindler.
Yes, all right, good. And thank you for coming to see me, Mr. Bolton. I have many other applicants to see before the day is over. If you are accepted, we will notify you.
But Dr. Sindler...
That is all, Mr. Bolton. Good afternoon.
July 11th, I was accepted. He called me this morning and said that he had chosen me to fill the position. Yesterday I felt sure that I'd been rejected and almost accepted the position with Gates, but something held me back. I am to see him tonight for dinner.
This is Donna Atwell, Mr. Bolton, another member of the research team.
How do you do?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Atwell.
Will you join us in a martini?
Yes, certainly.
The laboratory up in the mountains should be completed by the end of this month. I have a few things to clear up here before we start on this new research. I imagine you're willing to live with me and the rest of my staff?
Oh, yes, by all means, Dr. Sindler.
Yes, excellent.
I'm very interested in knowing what we're going to do.
Tell him, Donna.
Dr. Sindler is endeavoring to discover a method by which he can make plants and animals larger.
Larger?
Yes, Emery.
Well, how?
Every living thing, be it plant or animal, gives off electricity to a greater or lesser degree. By means of the electroencephalograph, science has already discovered the human brain gives off small microvolts of electricity. When a man becomes angry, this charge is strengthened. With the increased flow of electricity, his physical strength is also increased.
Dr. Sindler is looking for the chemical which is released into a man's body, along with adrenaline, which gives a man this added strength and which also increases the microvolts of electricity.
I see.
Your cocktails. Allow me to propose a toast to our work together. May we have success.
July 23rd. The laboratory is finally completed. Sindler and I are going up by car tomorrow. I am impatient to begin. July 24th. We arrived shortly after noon today.
I'll take you on a tour of the building later, Emery. Now I want you to meet the others. Donna, will you and Dr. Henderson come into my office, please?
Yes, Dr. Sindler.
Besides the four of us, the only other persons in the building are the cook and janitor. I dislike having too many people engaged on one problem. You understand, of course.
Certainly.
Miss Atwell and Dr. Henderson have been my colleagues on several other occasions.
Well, the building is perfect, Henry.
Yes, Henry, they've certainly given us everything to work with this time.
Emery Bolton, this is Dr. Paul Henderson. You already know Miss Atwell. How do you do?
Glad to have you with us, Bolton.
Emery, you are to work on the effects of the unknown chemical which is released into the body at moments of anger or peril along with adrenaline. I shall try to isolate the chemical. You are to discover what effect it has upon the nerves and brain.
August 4th. Sindler has isolated the chemical. He calls it the strength quantity or S quantity. He fed some to a lab mouse.
How much time has passed since the injection?
3 hours, Dr. Sindler.
Let's look at the pen.
I hope we have more success this time.
I think we will.
Maybe I'm wrong, but the mouse does seem to be larger.
It is larger, Donna.
Then we found the formula.
We can't be too sure if it's safe. The other subjects died.
Dr. Sindler,
Yes?
how large will the animal grow?
We have no idea of knowing that, my dear.
Do you think there's any possibility of it growing too large?
What do you mean?
We're changing the size of that animal beyond all proportion to what nature has evolved. Do you think there's any possibility of the subject growing too large for us to handle? That mouse there might grow into some hideous monster that could destroy us all.
I'm here in this seemingly deserted laboratory. In my hands, I hold the diary of Emery Bolton. Though there's nothing in his words that should cause me to feel any alarm, still there's something I feel that causes me to look back over my shoulder into the shadows. I continue with the diary.
August 5th. The animal is 3 times its normal size. It killed 2 other mice.
Emery!
Yes?
How is your part of the research coming?
I've written it down for you. Here.
Let me see. The effect of the S quantity increases the microvolts of electricity, and we go on.
Dr. Tindler?
Yes, what is it, Donna?
Paul wants you in the isolation room immediately.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know. He just told me to get you.
Oh, come with us, Emery.
Wonder what's happened.
We'll know in a minute. What is it, Paul?
Henry, the mouse died a few minutes ago.
What?
Yes. As you know, the S quantity has an immense effect on metabolism. I imagine the animal wasn't able to stand the strain.
What are we going to do?
We'll try it again. Failure may mean nothing. Perhaps the animal was sick. We're not sure that the strength quantity will kill.
August 9th. Sindler told us to feed the S quantity to another mouse and also to one of the large, hairy banana spiders, a member of the deadly tarantula family, in the cage next to the mouse. I was with Henderson when the feeding began.
Open the cage door.
Right.
I'll set the food in here, like this. All right, close the door. Now the other one. Open the cage door.
All right.
There, that'll do it.
Paul, do you think the spider will react to it?
I don't know. I imagine so. Spider,
What's the matter?
Ever since I was a small child, I've hated them. I get nervous whenever I see one. This type, especially.
You're a scientist, Paul. You should be completely objective in this experiment.
I know I should, but that spider, that hairy, crawling thing, I wish I could forget my fear and hatred of them, but I can't. They always seem so cold. A person feels that they have an unearthly, inhuman intelligence behind their beady little eyes. Of course, that's not possible. I think it just the same.
I wonder if the S quantity will also increase the size of the brain and its ability to think. Still, August 9th, 4 hours later. The mouse has increased slightly in size, but the growth of the spider has been amazing. Its size has been more than trebled. It's almost as large as a child's fist. August 10th, 3 in the morning. Henderson woke me and we went into the isolation room where the mouse and spider were kept in a double cage.
Be quiet. I don't want to wake the others. Look at the cages.
Now, what do you... The mouse. What happened to the mouse?
Let's go over to the cage.
The spider... It's doubled in size again.
I know. And the mouse is gone. Now, look at the partition between the two pens.
There isn't any partition.
That's right. It slipped or was moved down to the bottom of the cage.
Then that means
that the mouse and the spider had nothing to separate them.
But what happened to the mouse?
Don't you know, Emery?
Unless
what?
Unless the spider.
And that's just what happened. Another thing, Emery. I don't think the partition slipped down between the two cages. I think that the two holders for it were opened and then the partition slipped down.
That means you're endowing the spider
with intelligence. Yes, that's right. Remember what I said earlier? Would it happen if the S quantity also enlarged the ability of the brain to think? Well, it has happened. That spider will kill. It can think. That hairy, crawling thing can think.
August 10th, forenoon. I didn't get much of a chance to see Sindler before 11. When I did, I discovered Henderson had already told him what had happened in the isolation room. And you know about the spider.
Yes, Emery, I do. Henderson told me earlier.
What do you think about it?
Think? What do you mean?
Don't you think we ought to destroy it?
Destroy it? Of course not. This may be what we're looking for, Emery. This may lead us to success.
But, Dr. Sindler, it might be dangerous.
Yes, it might be. But you'll remember that the development of the atomic bomb was dangerous, and so is the research going on in countless laboratories across the nation, across the world, Emery.
That spider has intelligence, Dr. Sindler, a crafty, cunning intelligence.
Yes, I know that. We have found a new formula to increase the intelligence and size of an animal. And, Emery, it will increase man's intelligence, too. Our contribution to the science of the world will be invaluable. There's nothing to worry about, absolutely nothing.
August 15th. The spider has grown so large that it cannot be kept in the cage anymore. The isolation room is its pen now. It has the run of the entire room. It's as large as a large dog. I must admit that every time I enter the isolation room, I'm nervous lest that thing should attack me. But it generally stays over in one corner of the room. Apparently, it has no desire to harm us. August 25th. Donna and I are taking a stroll outside the laboratory.
Emery.
Yes?
Emery, I've been with Dr. Sindler for several years. In all that time, he's never made a mistake. That is, up to now.
What do you mean, Donna?
I think he's created something that will only bring evil. That will only... Oh, I wish I had the words to express myself.
I know exactly how you feel, Donna. I've talked to him about this before. I'm going to talk to him again when we get back.
I wish you would, Emery. I wish you would.
What are you doing in here, Emery?
I want to talk to you, Dr. Sindler.
Can't it wait till later?
No. That noise, what?
It's the sound of the spider that moves closer to us. What did you want to say, Emery?
I'll be quite frank about it, sir. I think we should destroy it.
Why, that's nonsense, Emery.
No, it's not. It's true we may learn something. It's true that we may even succeed in our research, but let's start over again. Let's experiment with something else, something that doesn't look like a monstrous throwback to a prehistoric age. It crawls and slides across the floor with its large, beady eyes always open, staring at you. Let's destroy it. What's the matter?
It's coming towards us. Come with me, Emery. Quickly.
That creature. It was crawling towards us.
I wonder if it can understand us. I wonder if it knows what we're saying.
Either that or it sensed that I was urging its destruction. Maybe I'm wrong, Emery. But I feel there's something malevolent about that spider. I get the feeling that it's waiting for the right moment. Waiting for the time when it will kill us.
I am beginning to feel some of the terror that Emery Bolton must have felt. I'm beginning to feel the presence of the crawling thing about which he writes through the words upon these pages. The diary continues. September 8th.
The cook and janitor left today. If we remain here, we'll be forced to do all the work they did. Henderson has been acting queerly. It's a strange, haunted look to his eyes. He barely eats at all. Either he's ill physically or mentally. What's the matter with you, Paul?
What do you mean?
You look ill. You're not yourself.
Can you be yourself, Emery? That crawling monster in the isolation room? Well, can you?
No, not exactly.
Let me tell you something, Emery. My dreams, I see it. My dreams in the dead of night. I see those beady eyes looking for me, trying to pierce the darkness. And I feel drawn to it, as if it hypnotizes me. And I feel that I'm caught in its web, just like a fly, Emery. Just like a fly.
It's only your imagination.
I'm not insane, if that's what you think. I'm quickly being driven there. Did you ever look at those eyes for any length of time, Emery? Did you ever see the hatred and loathing and evil mirrored in them? I'm not imagining it. I see it. When the opportunity comes, I'm going to destroy it. Sindler or no Sindler, I swear to you, I'll kill it.
October 10th. Henderson has been so quiet lately, but I know he has some plan in his mind. Some plan that will culminate in the destruction of the spider. Sindler hasn't noticed any change in Henderson. He's engrossed in his work. October 16th. Henderson whispered to me this evening that tonight he will kill the spider. I sit in my room and write this, with only the desk lamp lit. It's almost 11 o'clock now. I have the feeling that the moment is drawing near. What happened? I don't know. I think we may find the answer in the isolation room. Come with me.
You don't mean that Henderson went in there alone?
I'm afraid he did.
But that's against all my orders. Why would he want to go in there?
Let's kill it.
What do you mean?
He hated and feared the spider. We'll see what happened right now.
Here's the key.
We don't need it. The door's open.
Turn on the light.
Good heavens. Back! Back to the other side of the room.
It seems to understand you, Dr. Sid.
Probably from the tone of my voice. Now, to examine Henderson. He's dead.
Dead?
Yes. After all, in the spider's original size, the poison could kill a man. Here, give me a hand. Help me get him out of here. All right.
Look out! The spider's coming towards you.
Help me with Henderson. Hurry, Matt! Come on, let's get out of here.
Hurry, hurry!
Lock the door, Donna.
Yes, of course.
I don't want that thing to get out of that room. Don't you think we should destroy it? No! Henderson was a fool. He went in there to kill the spider. I think the spider sensed it. That's why Henderson's dead. We are still going on with the experiment.
October 17th, we buried Henderson in the graying light of dawn. Even Sindler was quiet. October 18th, I am in charge of feeding it. Donna and I were in the isolation room today when a curious thing happened.
Emery, look.
What's wrong?
The spider. It's crawling over to the table where the S quantity is.
Wonder
If what?
The spider's trying to get more of the S quantity. Stop growing now because we stopped the injection.
If it were to get more of the serum, it would grow larger.
Going to get that bottle and take it out of here.
Be careful, Emery.
Don't worry, I will.
Look out!
It won't let me get past.
Maybe we better get out of here. It's crawling towards the table.
We have to stop it.
We can't. It's lifting one of its legs. What is it trying to do?
Get the bottle, Donna. The bottle is serum.
Knock the bottle to the floor.
It's going to drink that serum.
Let's get out of here.
You're right.
What are we going to do, Emery?
I don't know.
I heard some commotion down here. What's the matter?
The spider just got through knocking the bottle of chemical serum to the floor.
But that means
that it'll grow larger. I told you we should destroy that thing in there. Now it's too late. We don't know how large it'll get.
Be quiet. I have to think.
That's right. Use your mind now, Sindler, when it's too late. We had a chance to destroy it earlier, but no, you wouldn't have any of that. A man of science, that's what you are. But you're a fool, too, Sindler, a stupid, misguided fool. That thing in there can kill us all.
What the hell?
It's trying to break the door down.
We'd better barricade that door. If we don't, it'll break it down in a matter of seconds.
October 24th. 6 terrifying days have passed. That creature in the isolation room is out of all proportion. Though we've barricaded it, the door's weakening. It won't hold up much longer. I called Frank today. We can't leave that thing alone. If it were to get loose, we must destroy it. Sindler has a plan. We've placed explosives just outside the door. It'll give way any minute now.
Only a matter of time now. When it breaks down the door and comes through that doorway, the explosive will automatically go off. I hope we're successful.
Why don't we just leave?
We can't do that. We have to see it destroyed. That's the only way we can be sure. What if the explosive does not kill it? I don't know what will. The door is starting to give.
It's starting to come through. It wasn't that.
Look at his eyes. As if I were hypnotized. I can't move.
Look out! Look out!
Even though the last entry in the diary was marked October 24th at 7 in the morning, in my mind I've reconstructed what must have happened after that last entry. There is evidence all around me of the death and destructive power of that hairy, crawling thing. It must have left the building after what happened. I'd better get back to the city and notify the... In front of me. Something so large. Gigantic eyes. Looming up at me. I can't move.
tale of the unusual, the terrifying, the unknown. Join us again when next we journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy to hear another strange tale of the supernatural.
All characters and events portrayed in these programs are fictional, and any similarity to actual events or persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
That's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more old-time radio. I hope you can join us then. Till then, this is Jim Dolan thanking you for listening. The RTC Weekly Download is produced by Chris Stone and Jim Dolan.